over where the Appomattox courthouse is.
Really? Now, what was the Appomattox courthouse all about? The significance of the Civil War.
This was the conclusion to the end. This is where Lee surrendered.
Right here.
Yep, right here.
At the stop sign,
All right.
turn right
Appomattox
onto Old
Courthouse.
Courthouse Road.
What's going on?
Not much.
Looks like we've made it to the Appomattox courthouse here in Virginia. We're gonna be heading up this hill here, and we're gonna go inside, take you to the place where the war ended. They literally signed it. He signed the papers and he said, "Hey, done, done."
This is where they were printing the
Phony money.
the notes.
Hanging them up dry there.
You are dismissed.
See ya. Gno W. Woodson, attorney at law.
There's less stuff than the last time I was here.
Must have been some people buying some essential items on. The McLean House what was the significance of this place that you know of?
The McLean House?
The McLean House.
That's where they signed the documents there.
Really?
Yep, that's where the actual documents were signed, officially ending the war.
Well, there's the courthouse.
Though the guns had fallen silent at Appomattox, the war's final chapter was still being written, and it was one of mercy rather than vengeance. When Confederate General Lee met with Union General Ulysses S. Grant to surrender, what followed set the tone for healing a broken nation. Grant's terms were not harsh or punitive. Instead, they were marked by a quiet compassion. He chose not to imprison the Confederate soldiers or try them for treason. Instead, he offered paroles, allowing them to return home in peace so long as they laid down their arms. When Lee inquired whether his men might keep their horses and mule stools essential for the coming spring planting, Grant readily agreed, understanding the importance of letting these men return not just to homes, but to livelihoods. Seeing their gaunt faces and hollow eyes, Grant went even further, ordering 25,000 rations for the starving Confederate Army. And when the Union soldiers erupted in cheers as Lee departed, Grant swiftly silenced them.
The Confederates are now our countrymen.
He said firmly.
We do not want to exult over their downfall.
In that moment, the seeds of reconciliation were planted not with the sword, but with dignity, empathy, and restraint.
An ordinary white towel, carried as a truce flag, signaled the climax of a 4-year struggle. General Robert E. Lee had agreed to discuss the surrender of the Army of Northern Virginia, and on the afternoon of Sunday, April 9, 1865, he rode to the McLean House in the village of Appomattox Courthouse. General Ulysses S. Grant followed shortly. After reminiscing a few minutes, Lee asked Grant to put his terms in writing. The terms were simple. Officers and men would give their paroles not to take up arms against the government of the United States. Arms, artillery, and public property were to be surrendered. Then the soldiers would be free to return to their homes. Lee carefully polished his spectacles, then read the document. A word had been inadvertently omitted from the draft. Lee borrowed a pencil to insert the missing word. Grant's secretary then drafted copies of the preliminary terms. About 3 o'clock, Lee left the McLean House. The next day, 3 Union and 3 Confederate generals drafted the final articles of surrender. At 8:30 p.m., the 6 officers signed the document on John Gibbon's camp table. Printing presses were set up in the Clover Hill Tavern to print the thousands of paroles that allowed the Southern soldiers to return home. On April 12, 1865, 4 years to the day that the conflict began, with the bombardment of Fort Sumter in Charleston Harbor, the soldiers of the Army of Northern Virginia laid down their arms. "The war is over," said Grant. "The rebels are our countrymen again."